Have you ever felt like your mind is a radio stuck between stations, constantly jumping from one channel to another, unable to focus on anything at all? In today's noisy world, the ability to concentrate feels like a superpower that few truly possess. But what if I told you that this power isn't something you're born with? It's a skill you can train and develop to extraordinary levels. The Power of Concentration by Theron Q. Dumont is not just a book. It's a blueprint for unlocking the unlimited potential within you. This is an invitation to turn down the noise of the outside world, to listen deeply to the voice within, and to master your own mind. Let's explore how to transform a scattered mind into a powerful engine that helps you achieve everything you deeply desire in life. Before we begin this journey into the immense power of concentration, take a moment. Breathe. Look around you. How many distractions are pulling at your attention right now? The buzzing of your phone, the blinking tabs on your browser, the never-ending to-do list in your head? You're not alone. We live in a world overflowing with noise, notifications, emails, social media, constant stimulation. It's no wonder our minds are exhausted, scattered, and unfocused. Yet, from the very first pages of The Power of Concentration, author Theron Q. Dumont shares a life-altering truth. A focused mind isn't just a helpful tool, it is the gateway to unlocking the extraordinary power already within you. Imagine a magnifying glass under the sun. When sunlight is diffused, it's warm at best, but when focused through the lens, it ignites fire. Our minds work the same way. A scattered mind leaks energy, but a concentrated one channels that energy into purpose, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. According to Dumont, concentration isn't merely a productivity hack. It is a mental state, a discipline of will. It's the conscious choice to command your thoughts instead of letting your thoughts command you. Those who master focus don't just complete tasks, they solve complex problems, spark innovation, and seize opportunities others fail to notice. They don't chase time, they make it work for them. So how do we begin to cultivate this miracle of a focused mind? It starts with awareness. 1. Recognize the value of focus. Before you can build it, you must believe in it. Focus is more valuable than raw talent. You may be gifted, but without focus, gifts scatter like leaves in the wind. True power lies in your ability to direct your mental energy where it matters most. 2. Evaluate your distractions. Be honest with yourself. What pulls you away from what's important? Is it your phone, your wandering thoughts, social media? Identify your distractions, not to judge yourself, but to understand your habits. 3. Begin small. Don't attempt to meditate for hours or write a novel in one sitting. Start by focusing on a single task for just 5 or 10 minutes. Set a timer, stay with it, then increase slowly. The key is not in how long you start with, but how consistently you train your mind. 4. Craft a supportive environment. Remove the obvious distractions. Silence your notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Find a quiet space if possible. Your environment shapes your ability to focus more than you think. 5. Practice mindfulness daily. Concentration is like a muscle. It grows with daily training. Try focusing fully on one sensory experience, the sound of your breath, the feel of the air, or even the flavor of a single sip of tea. Every time your mind wanders, gently guide it back. That is the training. 6. Commit to the journey. There will be days you lose focus. That's not failure, that's part of the process. Dumont reminds us that persistence is the secret ingredient. Concentration isn't a switch you flip, it's a skill you earn, moment by moment, choice by choice. He writes, concentration is the secret of all success. This is more than motivation, it's truth. A trained mind is your greatest asset. With it, you're not just surviving in a noisy world, you're shaping your destiny step by focused step. So today, take the first of many. Choose one task, one moment, one breath, and give it your full attention. That's how it begins.
And in that decision, you'll begin to discover the silent, hidden power that's been waiting within you all along. This journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the part of you that has always been capable, only clouded by noise. Clear that fog, focus, and feel your inner strength rise. Because when your mind becomes clear, your path does too.
In the last chapter, we discovered the incredible power of a focused mind, the kind of focus that ignites action, brings clarity, and unlocks inner strength. But here's the truth. Focus doesn't come easily in today's world. We're constantly surrounded by traps, tiny, persistent distractions that pull our attention away. So the question is, how do we rise above them? Theron Q. Dumont offers a powerful image. Imagine yourself walking on a straight path toward your goal. But from every direction, invisible ropes begin tugging at you. Notifications on your phone, background noise, an email alert, a racing thought, a lingering worry. Each rope pulls a little harder, trying to drag you away from your path. Unless you cut those cords, you'll never walk straight. You'll stay stuck, tangled, tired, and lost. In this chapter, Dumont teaches us how to break free from distraction by consciously identifying and cutting the chains that bind our mind. He divides distractions into two main categories: external distractions, those around you, like noise, interruptions, and digital alerts, and internal distractions, those within you, like wandering thoughts, anxiety, unfinished business. Both must be addressed with intention and awareness. Let's begin with the external world. 1. Master your environment. Silence the noise. Set your phone to Do Not Disturb mode during periods of deep focus. Let nothing chirp or buzz unless it truly matters. Clear your space. A cluttered desk creates a cluttered mind. Keep your workspace simple, clean, and intentional. Find quiet. If possible, choose a calm space to work. Use noise-canceling headphones when needed. Set boundaries. Let the people around you know when you need undisturbed time. Respect for your focus begins with you respecting it first. Now, let's address the inner world, the more difficult battlefield. 2. Master your mind. Write down intrusive thoughts. When a distracting idea pops up, don't fight it, capture it. Keep a notebook nearby or use a digital note. Once it's written, your mind can let it go. Schedule your worries. If something is bothering you, don't let it nag you all day. Set a specific time to think it through. This gives your mind permission to focus elsewhere for now. Practice meditation. Even 5 minutes of daily mindfulness builds your ability to notice thoughts without being carried away by them. Meditation strengthens the muscle of focus. Plan your day. When your day has structure, your mind finds rest. Without structure, it wanders endlessly in search of meaning. Dumont reminds us of a timeless truth. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. If you don't take charge of your mind, it'll be led astray by every fleeting thought and outside noise. But when you take the reins, when you choose what matters most and silence what doesn't, you unlock a mental clarity that most people never experience. Cutting the chains of distraction is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice, a commitment to awareness. You won't win every battle, but every time you notice a distraction and return your focus, you build mental strength. You reclaim your time, you reclaim yourself. So, today, take a moment. Ask yourself honestly, what are the cords pulling me away from what truly matters? Identify them, name them, then begin cutting one by one. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be conscious. Because every distraction you conquer is one step closer to the focused, powerful life that's waiting on the other side.
By now, you understand just how vital focus is, and you've learned to identify and cut the distractions pulling you away. But here's the next question. How do we actually build concentration like a skill? Theron Q. Dumont believed that concentration, much like physical strength, is not something you're simply born with. It's something you train, daily, deliberately, patiently. Just as a bodybuilder can't lift 220 pounds on day one, neither can your mind remain perfectly focused without practice. Focus is a mental muscle, and like any muscle, it grows through repetition. Imagine a weightlifter training in the gym. He doesn't start with the heaviest weights. He starts small, consistent, and focused. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes second nature. Your mind, too, needs its own version of this workout. Simple exercises done with intentional effort. Dumont reminds us, mental strength, like physical strength, must be developed through use. Let's walk through the mental gym. Here are powerful exercises to help you sharpen your focus and strengthen your attention span. 1. Object focus. Choose any simple object, perhaps a pen, a flower, or a picture frame. Place it in front of you. For 1 to 5 minutes, focus entirely on it. Observe every detail, the shape, the colors, the texture, the shadows. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently guide it back to the object. This is not about force, it's about gentle discipline. 2. Breath awareness. Sit quietly, close your eyes or let them softly gaze downward. Focus only on your breath, its rhythm, its temperature, how it moves in and out of your body. Don't try to change it, just notice it. Each time your thoughts drift, simply return to the breath. This is one of the most ancient and effective ways to anchor your mind. 3. Single sound focus. Pick one consistent sound, like the ticking of a clock, a humming fan, or a bird chirping. For a few minutes, listen deeply to just that sound. Block out everything else. You'll be amazed at how sharp your mind becomes when it tunes in to one frequency. 4. Intentional reading. Choose a short paragraph from a book. Read it slowly, with full attention. Do not let any other thought enter. If your mind wanders, start again. Try reading the same paragraph 2 or 3 times, each time more focused. This isn't just reading, it's training the brain to stay present. 5. Mindful eating. Next time you eat, eat slowly and with purpose. Taste the food fully. Notice the texture, the flavors, even the sound as you chew. Don't rush, don't scroll on your phone. Just eat, fully aware. This turns a daily routine into a powerful mindfulness practice. 6. Thought concentration. Choose one idea, phrase, or affirmation. Something like, "I am fully focused," or "Peace begins with me." Hold that thought in your mind as long as possible. When other thoughts enter, let them pass. Return to your chosen phrase. This builds mental endurance. 7. Mental countdown. Silently count backward from 100 to 1. If your mind strays, begin again. This is not about finishing quickly. It's about staying steady, sharpening attention. 8. Body awareness in motion. When walking, exercising, or even stretching, bring your focus to the movement itself. Feel your feet touching the ground, your breath syncing with each motion. This connects body and mind, enhancing both presence and clarity. These aren't just exercises, they're tools for transformation. Over time, your ability to concentrate will grow stronger, your thoughts will become clearer, and your presence in each moment will deepen. Dumont encourages us not to be discouraged if it feels hard at first. Difficulty is part of the process. Just as learning a new language or instrument takes time, so does learning the language of focus. Make these practices part of your daily life, even if just for a few minutes. The rewards are subtle at first, but soon you'll notice a sharper, calmer, more powerful mind facing the world each day. You are training yourself not just to think, but to think on purpose. And in a world full of noise, that is a rare and extraordinary gift. Have you ever forgotten someone's name just moments after they introduced themselves? Or struggled to recall key details from a meeting or book you just finished? Most of us have. And we often blame it on a bad memory. But Theron Q. Dumont offers a powerful insight. The problem isn't your memory, it's your focus. In The Power of Concentration, Dumont reveals the deep connection between memory and attention. He believed that memory is not simply about recall, it's about how clearly we receive information in the first place. To remember better, you must first focus better. Think of your memory like a camera. If you snap a photo while moving, in poor lighting, or without focusing the lens, the image will be blurry. But if you steady your hand, adjust the lighting, and center your subject, you'll get a sharp, clear picture. That's what your mind needs, clarity and focus at the moment of capture. Dumont reminds us, poor memory is often not a weakness of the brain, but a failure to pay full attention when the information was first received. When you give your full attention to what you read, hear, or observe, your mind is far more likely to store it and to retrieve it when needed. So how do we sharpen our memory by mastering our focus? 1. Be fully present when receiving information. When reading, don't skim. Read each word with intention. Ask yourself, do I truly understand this? Re-engage if your mind drifts. When listening, listen actively. Don't think about your reply or let your attention wander. Focus entirely on the speaker and their words. When observing, pay attention to details. If you meet someone new, notice their face, tone of voice, and name with deliberate interest. 2. Seek to understand, not just memorize. Information that is deeply understood is far easier to remember than information memorized by rote. Ask why and how as you learn. Meaning creates memory. 3. Make connections. Tie new knowledge to what you already know. The brain stores information in networks. Linking ideas together strengthens those networks and makes retrieval more natural. 4. Involve multiple senses. When learning something new, involve as many senses as possible. Read out loud, write it down, visualize it, listen to it. The more channels you use, the more embedded it becomes. 5. Repetition with awareness. Review key information at spaced intervals. Don't cram. Revisit it mindfully, again and again. Each time you recall it, the memory deepens. 6. Use visualization techniques. Turn information into mental images. Our minds remember images far more vividly than abstract words. For example, imagine a person's name written on their forehead, or visualize historical dates as a vivid timeline. 7. Eliminate distractions. When studying or working, remove all distractions, digital and mental. A focused mind absorbs far more than one under constant interruption. 8. Rest the mind. A tired brain is a foggy brain. Quality sleep and regular breaks are essential for both focus and memory retention. Never underestimate the power of rest in the process of remembering. Dumont believed that memory is the ability to recall what has been deeply imprinted in the mind, and it is focus that does the imprinting. Just like concentration, memory can be developed. It is not a gift reserved for a few, but a skill available to anyone willing. So the next time you want to remember something, pause, slow down, pay full attention. Let your mind take a mental photograph with clarity, presence, and care. Because when you focus deeply, you don't just hear the words, you keep them. You don't just see the moment, you capture it. Through focused awareness, you'll not only enhance your memory, but also elevate your capacity to learn, grow, and navigate the world with clarity and confidence. Every time you choose to be fully present, you strengthen the mind's ability to remember and unlock a deeper potential within you. By now, we've explored the miracle of a focused mind, how to overcome distractions, and how to train concentration through daily mental exercises. But today, we go deeper. Theron Q. Dumont challenges us to take the next vital step, to make focus a habit, not just a practice. This is where true transformation begins. Think of an Olympic athlete. Their greatness doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from a daily routine, a lifestyle designed to train both body and mind. They live their purpose with discipline and intention. Focus, too, must become part of your daily rhythm, woven into the way you think, act, and live. Dumont reminds us,
Mental discipline is not about harsh control or force. It's about self-leadership. It's the quiet strength to guide your attention where you want it to go, even when distractions pull in every direction. When focus becomes a habit, you no longer have to try to concentrate. It becomes second nature. So, how do we build this powerful habit of focus and strengthen our inner discipline? 1. Create a clear schedule. Block out specific times for deep work or important tasks. Treat these blocks like sacred appointments with yourself. Protect them fiercely. Focus is easier when it's built into structure. 2. Start your day with intention. Spend the first 5 to 10 minutes of your day in stillness, through meditation, breath work, or quietly reviewing your priorities. This sets the tone for a focused, centered day. 3. Do one thing at a time. Forget multitasking. It scatters your energy and weakens your attention. When you begin a task, commit to it fully. Finish it before moving on. Presence is more powerful than speed. 4. Create pre-focus rituals. Before diving into a mentally demanding task, establish a simple ritual. 3 deep breaths, a clean workspace, a cup of tea. These small cues train your brain to enter a focus state consistently. 5. Turn focus into a game. Challenge yourself. See how long you can stay immersed in one task. Use a timer. Then increase your time each day. Make it a personal game of growth and self-mastery. 6. Reward focused effort. After a productive focus session, give yourself something to look forward to. A 5-minute walk, a coffee break, a few pages of your favorite book. Rewards reinforce habits. 7. Review and adjust daily. At the end of each day, reflect. When was I most focused? When did I lose attention? This builds self-awareness. Small adjustments over time lead to big breakthroughs. 8. Live with purpose. When you have a clear sense of purpose, your mind naturally begins to align with it. Focus becomes easier when you know what matters most. Let your purpose guide your attention. Dumont teaches that habit is the thread that weaves our destiny. You will never rise above your habits. If distraction is your habit, your life will be scattered. But if focus becomes your habit, clarity, progress, and fulfillment will follow. Mental discipline isn't just about productivity. It's about freedom. The freedom to choose what to think, how to act, and who to become. It gives you control over your energy, your time, and your life. So, begin today. Turn focus into a ritual. Shape your days around presence. Build systems that protect your attention like a precious treasure, because it is. When you make focus a habit, you won't just get more done. You'll live more fully, more deliberately, more powerfully. The discipline of today becomes the excellence of tomorrow.
As we've explored the incredible force that concentration brings to your habits, your willpower, and even your emotional clarity, it's time now to turn that spotlight inward, toward your mind as a learner. In a world that praises intelligence but often misunderstands it, the power of concentration reveals a deeper truth. Intelligence is not measured by how much you know, but by how well you understand and apply what you've learned. Have you ever read an entire page of text only to realize you couldn't recall a single sentence? Or sat through a class, nodded at every word, but moments later struggled to explain even the basics? That, my friend, is not a failure of intellect. It's a failure of attention. And according to Thayer and Q. Dumont, attention is not a passive trait. It is an active skill, one that unlocks your true mental potential. Think of learning like digging for water. If you dig many shallow holes in different spots, you'll never reach a deep flowing spring. But if you dig with focus, steadily, intentionally, in one place, you will find what lies beneath. Shallow knowledge is easy to collect and easy to forget. But deep understanding? That's forged only through focused effort. Dumont emphasized that learning is not just listening or reading. It's about engagement. It's a full-body, full-mind experience. When you truly concentrate, you don't just absorb information. You process it, connect it, challenge it, and make it your own. That's how raw data becomes wisdom. So how do we apply this power of focused attention to our everyday learning? First, create the right environment. Concentration begins with intention, and your surroundings must support that. Find a quiet space, free of unnecessary noise, clutter, or distractions. Light matters, comfort matters, even temperature matters. You're building a mental temple. Treat it with care. Next, set a clear goal before each study session. Ask yourself, what do I want to walk away with when this is over? Without a destination, your mind will wander. A goal is the anchor that keeps your attention rooted. Then engage actively with what you're learning. Take notes with purpose. Don't just copy, summarize in your own words. Translate ideas into language your mind understands. Ask questions as you learn. Curiosity is the fuel of focus. Keep your mind alert by probing the material. Why is this important? How does this connect to what I already know? Make connections. Link new information to previous knowledge. This forms mental bridges that strengthen memory and insight. Teach what you've learned. If you can explain it clearly to someone else, you understand it. If you can't, go deeper. Dumont also encourages the use of focused learning techniques. One of the most effective is the Pomodoro method. Study with full intensity for 25 minutes, then take a short 5-minute break. Repeat. These short sprints keep the mind fresh and prevent fatigue. Break down your study materials into smaller, manageable chunks. Trying to memorize or understand too much at once leads to mental overload. Instead, master one concept fully before moving to the next. Rest and review regularly. The brain needs space and repetition to retain information long-term. After intense focus, take breaks, walk, breathe, disconnect. Later, revisit what you learned. Spaced repetition transforms short-term knowledge into lasting memory. And finally, focus on understanding, not just memorization. Don't settle for facts, seek meaning. When you internalize a concept, when you feel its purpose, you make it yours for life. Dumont believed that the ability to concentrate is the key to unlocking the treasure house of knowledge. It is not the loudest mind that learns best, but the quietest, the one that can tune out the world and turn inward with discipline and clarity. Learning, when fueled by concentration, becomes a kind of joyful excavation. You are not just reading or listening, you are discovering. And with each focused session, you dig deeper into your own mental potential, uncovering abilities and ideas you didn't even know you had. So, let this be your practice. Every time you sit down to study, do it with presence, with purpose, with power. Make every moment count. In doing so, you will not only learn more effectively, you will train your mind to become sharper, wiser, and infinitely more capable in every area of life.
As your mind grows sharper through focused learning, the next frontier where concentration proves its true worth is in your daily work. What you learn is valuable, but what you do with it defines your results, your career, and ultimately your life. In this chapter, we bring the power of concentration into the heart of your professional world, where it becomes the engine behind peak performance, creative excellence, and meaningful impact. Imagine a carpenter shaping a piece of wood. If he's distracted, his mind wandering, his attention split, he may chip the edge, miss a measurement, or ruin the entire design. But when he's fully focused, every cut is intentional, every move precise. He doesn't just build a table, he crafts a masterpiece. That same principle applies to you and me. The quality of our focus directly shapes the quality of our output. In The Power of Concentration, Thalan Q. Dumont emphasizes this truth. The ability to focus at work is not merely about speed or efficiency, it's about depth.
It's about being so absorbed in a task that your best ideas, your clearest thinking, and your deepest creativity rise to the surface naturally. This intense, fulfilling mental state is often called flow. It's a moment where time seems to melt away, where effort feels effortless, and where your energy is fully aligned with your purpose. Flow is the reward of deep concentration, and it's available to anyone who chooses to work with presence. So how do we bring this focused energy into our everyday professional lives? Start by identifying your most important tasks. Not everything on your to-do list carries equal weight. Each morning, choose 1 to 3 high-impact tasks. These are your priorities. Commit to giving them your undivided attention. Then, make a clear plan before you begin. Break the task into steps. Sketch out the process. When your brain knows where it's going, it wastes less time wandering. Clarity creates momentum. Next, remove distractions ruthlessly. Turn off notifications. Silence your phone. Close unrelated browser tabs. Let your colleagues know you'll be unavailable for the next hour. This is your sacred time. Protect it. Create focus blocks in your day. Set aside dedicated periods, 60 to 90 minutes, where you do one thing and one thing only. No multitasking, no checking email, no scrolling, just deep, uninterrupted work. Dumont's ideas beautifully echo what modern thinkers now call deep work, a concept made popular by author Cal Newport. Deep work is the practice of immersing yourself fully in cognitively demanding tasks. It's the opposite of the fragmented, constantly interrupted style of working that has become all too common in our digital age. The results? Higher quality output, greater satisfaction, and faster progress in your career. Take short, mindful breaks between sessions. A 5 to 10-minute walk, a stretch, a few deep breaths, these mini resets refresh your mental energy and prevent burnout. Concentration is a muscle. Recovery helps it grow stronger. And don't fear difficult tasks. In fact, the harder the task, the more valuable your focus becomes. Embrace complexity, break it down, lean into the challenge. That's where your true growth lies. Make it a habit to reflect on your focus at the end of each day. Ask yourself, when did I feel most focused? What distracted me? What can I improve tomorrow? These simple questions build awareness and help you refine your workflow continuously. Finally, connect your work with meaning. When you understand why your work matters, whether it's solving a problem, serving a customer, or building a legacy, you'll find it easier to stay engaged and energized. Theron Q. Dumont put it best when he said, "Concentration is the shortest path to success." A focused person will always outpace someone who is clever but scattered. When you train your mind to stay present, to work with depth, and to follow through without distraction, you create a kind of personal power that multiplies your effectiveness in every domain. Work becomes more than a chore. It becomes a craft. You move from reacting to leading, from coping to creating. You rise, not by rushing, but by focusing. Not by doing more, but by doing what matters most with all you've got. So today, as you step into your tasks, do so with clarity, with intention, with focus. That's how you build excellence, one focused hour at a time.
In the journey of mastering concentration, our focus so far has often been directed inward, on our goals, our thoughts, and our habits. But now, let's turn that focus outward. In this chapter, we explore how the power of concentration can transform something we do every day, communication. Think about the last conversation you had. Were you truly listening, or were you simply waiting for your turn to speak? In both personal and professional relationships, communication is more than just words. It's a bridge between souls. Yet so often, we cross that bridge distracted, missing the true meaning of the message. Theron Q. Dumont reminds us that focused listening is not just a skill, it's an act of respect. When you give someone your undivided attention, you're not just hearing their words, you're receiving their emotions, their intentions, and their silent hopes.
In that moment, you're saying, "You matter. I see you. I hear you." And in doing so, you create connection, genuine, lasting connection. Imagine trying to speak through a closed door or over a static-filled phone line. No matter how important the message, it's lost if the listener isn't truly present. In the same way, if we let distractions cloud our minds, we lose the essence of human connection. So how can we bring focus into our daily conversations? First, practice active listening. This means more than just hearing words. It means giving your full mental presence to the speaker. Pay attention to their tone, their pace, their pauses. What are they really trying to say beneath the surface? Second, eliminate distractions. Put away the phone, turn off the television. Give the person in front of you your full attention. It's one of the rarest gifts you can offer in a noisy world. Third, do not interrupt. Let others finish their thoughts. Interrupting is often a sign that your mind has drifted toward your own agenda instead of theirs. Next, watch for nonverbal cues. Facial expressions, body language, and eye contact can reveal more than spoken words. A subtle sigh, a shift in posture, these small signs often carry the weight of unspoken truths. Also, learn to ask clarifying questions. If something is unclear, don't assume, ask. This shows that you're not just listening, you're seeking to understand. And from time to time, summarize what you've heard. This reinforces understanding and demonstrates care. It tells the speaker, "I'm not just hearing you, I'm with you." Another important principle, resist planning your reply while they're speaking. Stay in their message until it's complete. You'll respond more wisely when your reply is rooted in understanding. Finally, respond with empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. Feel what they might be feeling. You don't always need to fix the problem. Sometimes simply acknowledging their experience is enough. When it's your turn to speak, do so with clarity and brevity. Speak from the heart. Focused communication doesn't mean saying more. It means saying what matters. Dumont believed that the best listeners are those with the greatest powers of concentration. When you train your mind to be present in communication, you not only deepen your relationships, but you also elevate your presence. People feel seen and heard, and in today's distracted world, that's a rare and powerful gift. Remember this, focus in communication is not just about understanding others, it's also about helping others feel understood. And in that understanding, trust is born, connection is built, and life becomes richer. As we continue our journey, never underestimate how powerful your attention can be, not just for your success, but for the hearts of those around you.
In our daily lives, we're often taught to trust logic, analysis, and data. Numbers, rational arguments, detailed plans, these are the marks of intelligence and responsibility. But there is another form of wisdom, often underestimated and overlooked: intuition. Theron Q. Dumont believed intuition wasn't something mystical or irrational. He saw it as the quiet voice within, a product of our life experience, subconscious knowledge, and deep emotional intelligence. And most importantly, intuition cannot flourish without concentration. Focus is the key that unlocks the hidden chambers of deeper wisdom. Think of your mind as a still lake. When the surface is calm, you can see clearly to the bottom, every rock, every ripple, every reflection. But when the water is disturbed by distractions, anxieties, or overthinking, it becomes cloudy and chaotic. Intuition is always there, waiting, but only through focus does the mind become still enough to let it shine through. Dumont emphasized that intuition often appears during moments of silence, when we're not forcing an answer, but simply holding space for one. When we are focused, we don't just listen with our ears or think with our minds, we begin to feel with our whole being. So, how do we strengthen intuition through the power of focus? 1. Create moments of silence each day. Just 10 or 15 minutes of quiet without phones, screens, or conversations can make a significant difference. Sit still. Breathe. Let the noise fade. 2.
Focus on the question, not the answer. When faced with a problem, form a clear question and simply hold it in your mind. Don't chase the solution, let it come to you naturally, often when you least expect it. 3. Pay attention to the first feeling. Intuition often arrives as a gut feeling, a subtle emotion, or a fleeting image. Don't ignore it just because it lacks logic. Sometimes the heart knows before the head understands. 4. Keep an intuition journal. Write down those moments when you sense something important, even if you can't explain it yet. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge, a quiet proof that your inner voice is worth listening to. 5. Practice mindfulness or meditation. These are powerful tools to calm the mind and strengthen your connection to your inner awareness. 6. Reduce stress where you can. Anxiety clouds intuition. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, it's harder to hear the whispers of your inner wisdom. 7. Stay present. The more fully you show up in the moment, really feel it, live it, breathe it, the more clearly you'll hear what your intuition is trying to say. Dumont wrote, "Intuition is the lighthouse of the soul, and concentration is the flame that makes it shine." When you learn to quiet the noise and truly listen, you begin to notice things the intellect alone could never grasp. You begin to understand yourself more deeply. Your choices become wiser, your life more grounded, authentic, and fulfilling. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Sit still for just a few minutes. Breathe. Let the thoughts come and go like waves on the shore. And gently ask, what is my intuition trying to tell me today? You may be surprised by what you hear.
In today's modern world, stress, anxiety, and depression have become all too common. We live under constant pressure to perform, to achieve, to stay connected, and often forget to care for the most vital part of ourselves, our mental well-being. Theron Q. Dumont, in The Power of Concentration, explored a connection that few talk about but everyone feels: the link between focus and mental health. He believed that concentration isn't just about productivity or success. It is a profound tool for inner peace, emotional healing, and resilience. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you neglect it, weeds, in the form of negative thoughts, anxiety, and fear, begin to overrun the soil. But when you focus your attention, intentionally pulling out the weeds and nurturing seeds of hope, gratitude, and peace, that garden begins to bloom again. Focus becomes the sunlight, discipline becomes the water, and mindfulness becomes the gardener. Dumont observed that many of our emotional struggles stem from a scattered mind, one that constantly flips between the regrets of the past and the fears of the future. But when we concentrate on the present moment, we break that loop. We give ourselves the gift of now, a space untouched by sorrow or worry where healing can begin. So, how can we use focus to strengthen our mental health and heal the soul? 1. Focus on the present. This is the foundation. Whether you're eating a meal, walking, or talking with someone, be fully present. The more we live in the moment, the less room there is for regret or fear. 2. Practice mindfulness meditation. This form of concentration trains your mind to observe without judgment. Over time, it rewires your response to stress and builds a deep reservoir of calm inside you. 3. Redirect attention to the positive. When you notice your thoughts spiraling into negativity, pause. Consciously focus on something you're grateful for, even the smallest things, like the warmth of the sun or a kind word from a friend. 4. Focus on solutions, not problems. Problems can consume us when we dwell on them, but by shifting your focus toward what can be done, you reclaim your power and move forward. 5. Focus on what you can control. Let go of things beyond your influence. Bring your attention to actions you can take, habits you can shape, and attitudes you can choose. 6. Use affirmations. Positive statements, spoken aloud or silently repeated, rewire your subconscious. When you focus on affirming your worth and strength, your inner world begins to shift. 7. Immerse in joyful activities.
Concentration doesn't have to be rigid. It can be playful, creative, healing. Lose yourself in music, art, gardening, sports, whatever lights you up. That joy is medicine. 8. Learn the art of letting go. When a painful thought arises, acknowledge it, then gently release it. You don't have to fight every storm. Sometimes peace comes from stepping aside and watching it pass. Dumont reminded us, mental peace is the result of concentrated will. In other words, peace doesn't always come from outside circumstances. It's cultivated by the way we direct our attention and energy. The mind can be your sanctuary or your battlefield. The difference lies in focus. With daily practice, your concentration becomes a source of strength. It becomes your shield in times of turmoil. And more than that, it becomes your guide back to yourself, to a place of balance, clarity, and quiet joy. So today, take a few deep breaths. Be here, fully. Choose one small moment to concentrate on with kindness and presence. You are not broken. You are growing. And through the power of focus, you are healing, one peaceful moment at a time.
In a world that often glorifies material gain over spiritual depth, Theron Q. Dumont, in The Power of Concentration, offers a vital reminder. Concentration is not only a skill for acquiring wealth or status. It is, more profoundly, a powerful instrument for cultivating personal morality and ethical principles, the foundation upon which true character is built. Imagine an architect designing a grand building. If he focuses solely on its exterior beauty but neglects the structural principles that ensure its stability, the building, no matter how impressive it looks, is destined to collapse. Our character is no different. If we focus solely on success or appearance without anchoring ourselves in integrity, our inner life becomes fragile. When life tests us, and it always does, we risk crumbling under pressure. Dumont makes it clear. Morality and principles aren't rigid codes imposed from the outside. They are values we consciously choose and commit to, and concentration is how we nurture those values daily. When we keep our promises, speak truthfully, and act fairly, we're not merely being good, we're strengthening the core of who we are. So how do we apply the power of concentration to morality and personal principles? First, identify your core values. Set aside time to reflect on the ethics you believe in most deeply. Honesty, fairness, compassion, responsibility. These are not just lofty ideas. They are your compass. Next, concentrate on living by these values every single day. Life is a series of choices, and in each moment, you have an opportunity to ask, is this decision aligned with what I stand for? Then, practice regular self-reflection. At the end of each day or each week, pause to review your actions. Did you live with integrity? Where did you fall short? What can you do better tomorrow? Concentration is not only forward-looking, it is also about revisiting and refining. Focus on gratitude. Why? Because gratitude grounds you. It helps you recognize what truly matters and encourages kindness, generosity, and humility. These are not just traits, they're principles in action. Just as important, learn to manage negative thoughts. Often, unethical behavior begins not with intention, but with unguarded thoughts, envy, resentment, judgment. Concentration helps us catch these thoughts before they become actions. It gives us the space to choose a higher response. Focus on impact. Every word you speak, every action you take creates ripples. Use your influence wisely. Ask yourself, how can I contribute something good, something true and uplifting to the lives of others? And of course, keep your promises. A promise kept is a brick laid in the structure of your character. Each time you follow through, you reinforce your reliability, your self-respect, and your trustworthiness. Seek out mentors, people whose moral clarity inspires you. Observe how they live. Learn from their consistency.
Let their example sharpen your own focus. Dumont believed deeply that focusing on the good is the best way to become good. He wasn't advocating perfection. He was inviting us into a lifelong practice. Character, after all, is not a destination. It's a daily decision. And without focused attention on our values, that decision gets buried in the noise of life. So let's return to that image of the architect. Imagine now that he not only designs with beauty in mind, but builds with precision, honoring every structural rule. The result? A building that not only dazzles, but endures. That's what moral concentration does for our lives. It gives us strength beneath the surface. It gives us peace even when storms hit. Let this be your practice. Each morning, set an intention to live with purpose. Each evening, review your day with honesty. And in between, let your actions be guided by principles that matter, not just for how the world sees you, but for who you become when no one's watching. Because that's where true character lives, in the quiet moments of choice, in the focused attention to what's right, and in the unwavering commitment to be the best version of yourself, no matter the cost.
In a world drowning in information, memory is no longer just an advantage, it's a survival skill. Theron Q. Dumont, in his timeless book The Power of Concentration, devotes a crucial chapter to revealing this truth. Concentration is the key to unlocking an infinite memory. Through focus, your mind becomes more than a passive receiver. It becomes a living archive, a powerful and trustworthy vault of knowledge and experience. Imagine for a moment that your memory is a vast library. If you toss books randomly onto shelves with no sense of order, you'll never find the one you need when it matters. But if each book is carefully placed, labeled, and organized by subject and importance, you'll retrieve any volume with ease. The act of remembering works the same way. Concentration is the system that arranges your mental bookshelves so that information isn't lost in the chaos. It's right where you need it, when you need it. Dumont reminds us, memory is not the ability to recall everything you've ever seen or heard. It is the ability to recall that which was impressed upon the mind. In other words, memory quality is tied directly to how deeply you focus when you first encounter the information. So, how do you use concentration to build a limitless memory? 1. Total immersion when learning. When absorbing new information, whether from a book, a conversation, or a class, be fully present. Don't skim. Don't multitask. Dive deep. Engage with the material as if your success depends on understanding it, because in many ways, it does. 2. Create strong mental impressions. When something matters, don't let it pass through your mind like a breeze through an open window. Anchor it. Use emotion, imagery, even your 5 senses. Imagine the idea, feel it, visualize it in vibrant color. The stronger the impression, the longer it lasts. 3. Repeat with purpose. Repetition is memory's best friend, but only when it's mindful. Don't just reread a fact. Close your eyes, recall it without help, say it aloud, teach it. Each intentional repetition strengthens the neural path, like walking the same trail until it becomes instinctive. 4. Link new knowledge to old. Memory thrives on connection. When learning something new, tie it to something you already know. Build bridges, craft stories, use analogies. The brain remembers better when new information becomes part of a bigger picture. 5. Use the memory palace technique. The ancient method of loci, or memory palace, is a powerful trick. Picture a familiar place, your home, your office, your favorite coffee shop. Place the information you want to remember in specific spots in that space. Then walk through it in your mind. The brain remembers spatial locations vividly. 6. Write it down. Handwriting is an act of focus. It slows you down, forces you to process, and engages muscle memory. Writing by hand imprints ideas more deeply than typing or passively reading. 7. Teach someone else.
If you can explain a concept in your own words to another person, you've truly learned it. Teaching requires clarity of thought and forces you to organize information logically, which helps memory stick. 8. Rest and sleep properly. Memory doesn't just form while you're awake. During sleep, especially deep sleep, your brain consolidates what you've learned. Lack of rest weakens concentration and erodes memory. Prioritize quality sleep as a vital part of learning. 9. Understand, don't memorize mechanically. True retention comes not from robotic repetition, but from comprehension. When you fully grasp an idea, you don't need to memorize it. It becomes part of how you think and see the world. Dumont writes, "Memory is the faithful servant of concentration." To him, memory isn't a gift only the lucky are born with. It's a skill, a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with training. Every moment you devote to focused learning, every ounce of attention you invest in what matters is a step toward developing a mind that doesn't just remember, but remembers with clarity, speed, and confidence. Through concentration, you don't just gather knowledge, you transform it into wisdom. You create a mental world that is ordered, sharp, and ready to serve you at will. With practice, your memory will no longer be a mystery. It will be your most trusted ally in learning, creating, and rising to the highest levels of your personal and professional life.
We often separate the mind from the body as if they're two entirely different entities. But Theron Q. Dumont, in his timeless work The Power of Concentration, reminds us that this divide is artificial. Concentration doesn't just live in the realm of thought. It pulses through your veins, powers your breath, and strengthens every movement. Focus, when cultivated deeply, is a source of physical vitality. It energizes the body as much as it sharpens the mind. Think for a moment about an elite athlete. Imagine a runner preparing for a race. If their mind is scattered, worried about the outcome, distracted by the noise in the crowd, they won't run at their best. But when they become one with the moment, fully present in every stride, every breath, something changes. Their muscles fire in rhythm, their lungs sync with effort, and their body performs at its peak. This is the gift of focused presence, the unification of mind and body. Dumont believed, and modern science echoes this, that many of our physical ailments are not just a result of external forces, but internal fragmentation. Fatigue, stress, chronic tension, and even pain often stem from a lack of alignment between our thoughts and our bodies. When our attention is scattered, so is our energy. But when we focus, we harness that energy, and the body responds. So how do we tap into this physical power through concentration? Let's explore practical methods that connect focus with well-being. 1. Breathe with intention. Your breath is the bridge between your mind and body. A few minutes of deep, conscious breathing, inhale fully, exhale slowly, can quiet your mind, lower your heart rate, and supply your muscles with oxygen. This is more than relaxation, it's rejuvenation. 2. Eat with presence. Slow down when you eat. Focus on the texture, aroma, and flavor of your food. Chew slowly. Not only will you digest better, but you'll begin to notice when you're truly full. Mindful eating brings awareness back into one of the most vital parts of living. 3. Move with awareness. Whether you're walking, lifting, stretching, or practicing yoga, let your mind track every motion. Feel your muscles engage. Sense the ground beneath your feet. This doesn't just prevent injury, it increases your physical efficiency and improves balance and coordination. 4. Listen to your body. Pain, fatigue, thirst, tension, these are your body's messages. Concentration allows you to truly hear them. Don't brush them aside. By staying present to these signals, you can take better care of yourself, avoid burnout, and recover faster. 5. Practice focused relaxation. Find a quiet place, sit or lie down. One by one, turn your attention to different parts of your body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. As you focus, consciously release tension in each area. This body scan technique not only eases stress, but also deepens self-awareness.
6. Prepare your mind for sleep. The quality of your sleep begins before your head hits the pillow. Set aside electronic devices, breathe deeply, let your mind settle. Focus on calm thoughts or repeat a soothing phrase to guide your thoughts into stillness. Concentrated calm leads to deeper, more restorative rest. 7. Visualize vitality. Close your eyes and see yourself full of life, strong, energized, and well. Visualization isn't just fantasy. When paired with concentration, it activates neurological responses that influence real physical outcomes. Picture health, and your body begins to follow. 8. Use concentration to manage stress. When anxiety starts to rise, direct your attention to a single point, your breath, a sound, a candle flame, anything steady. This refocus pulls your mind out of the swirl of worry and brings your nervous system back into balance. Dumont's message is clear: a healthy mind is the foundation of a healthy body. Concentration is not some abstract skill. It is a life force. Every time you choose to be fully present, to guide your attention instead of letting it drift, you are nourishing your body as much as your mind. When you master your focus, you master your energy. You sleep better, move better, eat better, and feel better. Concentration becomes the quiet force behind every heartbeat, every stride, every breath. It is the ultimate self-care, not a break from life, but a deeper way of living it.
In the journey we've taken through concentration, we've explored its impact on our minds, our bodies, and our capacity to live with clarity and purpose. But now, we reach a deeper, more profound layer, one that lies at the core of all achievement: the development of willpower. In The Power of Concentration, Theron Q. Dumont reveals a timeless truth. Concentration isn't just a mental skill. It is the very tool that strengthens your will and builds the inner force that determines how far you'll go in life. Think of your will like a wild horse, powerful but undirected. Left untrained, it will run in every direction, exhausting itself and going nowhere. But once you learn to harness it, to focus its energy, you can ride it with purpose, through storms, across challenges, and toward your highest goals. Concentration is the rein. Willpower is the horse, and you are the rider. Dumont emphasized that willpower is not something we're born with, it's something we build. Each time you choose to focus instead of drift, each time you resist distraction or temptation, you are strengthening that inner muscle. Concentration requires will, and in turn, builds will. They are inseparable. Like flame and fuel, one feeds the other. So how can you begin training this powerful inner force? 1. Choose a difficult task and complete it. Avoiding hard things weakens your will. Pick a task you've been putting off, commit to it, push through resistance, finish it. Every time you do, you expand your capacity to follow through, to endure, to rise above fleeting emotions. 2. Fight procrastination at the root. Procrastination is a sign of scattered will. When you delay action, you're surrendering your focus to impulse. Instead, train your mind to act, not tomorrow, not later, but now. Even 5 minutes of deliberate action can break the spell. 3. Resist temptations one at a time. Willpower is tested not in grand battles, but in small, quiet moments. Reaching for your phone during work, staying in bed when you should rise, choosing comfort over challenge. Focus on your long-term vision, not the instant craving. Each victory matters. 4. Practice the no-s discipline. No sniveling. Complaining weakens your spirit. Focus on solutions. No slouching. Posture reflects mindset. Stand tall. Be deliberate. No sloth. Refuse laziness. Choose momentum, even in small steps. These aren't just rules. They're signals you send to your brain. They tell it, I am in control. 5. Repeat small, disciplined acts every day. You don't need to climb a mountain every morning. Fold your clothes, make your bed, drink water instead of soda, show up. Little wins done consistently are the backbone of willpower. 6. Visualize a stronger version of yourself.
Close your eyes and see yourself full of inner strength. See yourself saying no to distraction, yes to challenge. Picture yourself choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. The brain responds to mental rehearsal. You become what you consistently see. 7. Never accept failure as final. You will stumble, we all do. But willpower isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Fall, get back up, learn, and keep moving forward with even more focus than before. 8. Learn from the strong-willed. Read about people who overcame hardship through sheer inner strength. Let their stories inspire you. You're not alone on this journey. There's a path already carved. Walk it and carve your own alongside. Dumont wrote, "Will is the king of the mind." A scattered mind cannot serve a strong will, but a trained, concentrated mind becomes the throne upon which your will sits, with dignity, with strength, and with unshakable resolve. This isn't just about finishing projects. It's about becoming someone who doesn't back down, someone who can weather storms, stand tall in uncertainty, and build a life with meaning, a person of inner power, of discipline, of drive. And the beauty is, you already have what you need. The spark is in you. Concentration is the flint. Willpower is the fire it ignites. So today, ask yourself, what kind of life could I create if I truly mastered my will? And then, with quiet confidence, begin again, one focused moment at a time.
We've come a long way together, exploring concentration from every angle, how it unlocks our inner potential, fuels learning, sharpens communication, energizes the body, and fortifies the will. And now, at the final chapter of The Power of Concentration, Theron Q. Dumont leaves us with a powerful, resonant message. The true legacy of concentration is not just success in isolated areas of life, but the creation of a life that is whole, a life lived with intention, clarity, purpose, and deep fulfillment. Imagine your life as a canvas. If you paint in a rush, distracted, without care or attention, the result will be chaotic, a blur of missed strokes and mismatched colors. But if you paint slowly, with mindfulness and focus, each brushstroke placed with care, you begin to craft a masterpiece. It may not be perfect, it may carry the marks of struggle, but it will be authentic. It will be yours. That is the power of a concentrated life. A life where nothing is wasted, where every action, every choice, every relationship reflects a deeper sense of direction and meaning. Dumont reminds us that a fulfilling life does not mean a life without hardship. It means living with awareness, taking control of the mind and aiming it at what truly matters. The legacy of concentration is not measured in dollars earned or titles held. It is measured in who you become. It's in the lives you touch, the impact you make, and the peace you carry within because you chose to live with purpose. So, how do we build such a legacy? How do we live a life that speaks for itself even long after we're gone? 1. Make concentration a way of life. Don't treat focus like a tool you pick up only when needed. Let it become a core principle, woven into how you think, speak, work, love, and learn. The more you practice, the more it becomes part of your identity. 2. Live with a clear sense of purpose. When you have a meaningful goal, concentration finds you. Your purpose becomes the compass that guides your attention. Ask yourself often, why am I doing this? What matters most to me? 3. Keep growing, always. Use your ability to focus to absorb new knowledge, develop new skills, and stretch into new dimensions of yourself. A life of growth is a life of energy, renewal, and endless possibility. 4. Deepen your relationships. When you give others your full attention, you build connection. You show people they matter. You listen to hear, not just to reply. This is the foundation of love, trust, and true companionship. 5. Contribute your gifts. Focus isn't just for self-improvement, it's for service. Channel your strengths into something bigger than yourself.
Whether through art, mentorship, leadership, or kindness, use your gifts to uplift others. That is legacy in action. 6. Find peace within. A focused mind can recognize and release negative thoughts. It can step back from stress and anchor itself in stillness. Practice presence. Take deep breaths. Learn to quiet the mental noise and reconnect with your inner calm. 7. Live fully in the now. Regret anchors you to the past. Anxiety ties you to the future. But now, this moment, is where your power lives. Focus on what is in front of you. Give your energy to what you can control. That is where life truly happens. 8. Stay open and adaptable. No matter how strong your focus becomes, never close your mind. The world changes. You change. Stay humble enough to learn and flexible enough to adjust. This openness, paired with focus, makes you unstoppable. As Dumont writes in his final words, "Master your mind and you will master your life." In those 7 words lies a complete philosophy. A concentrated mind doesn't just make you productive, it makes you powerful. It helps you live not by accident, but by design. The legacy of concentration isn't a checklist of achievements. It's a way of being. It's the life you build one mindful choice at a time. It's the energy you carry, the depth of your presence, the authenticity of your relationships. And in the end, it's the quiet joy of knowing, I lived with purpose. I gave my best. I was awake to my life. So let this be your call to action. Don't just go through life, shape it. Pick up the brush, steady your hand, focus your gaze, and create something beautiful, your life as a masterpiece of attention, intention, and love. You have everything you need. Begin today.